Namaste. I, JVN Sheetal Singh, Assistant Professor at Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University, Jaipur, in Faculty of Pharmaceutical Science. In previously, we have completed the cholinergic drug, and now we will come to the symptomatic drug. Let's start the pharmacology unit third topic, symptomatic drug. So let's see, take an overview. First, we will study in this is the introduction. Then we will study the definition of symptomatic, then classification and symptomatic drug and therapeutic use of the symptomatic drug. So first, you must know what is sympathetic drugs. So sympathetic means fight or flight mode. So it is the fight and the flight mode, and parasympathetic is the opposite. It is the rest and maintaining mode. So if rest and repair and renew is there in the parasympathetic. So let's see the origin of the sympathetic and parasympathetic. So the sympathetic origin from the uh, thoracolumnar region and the parasympathetic through the craniosacral region. Now, let's see the distribution. The sympathetic is widely distributed, whereas the parasympathetic is through third, 7, 9, 10, and S1 of that. Now, let's see the preganglionic fiber. The sympathetic have short and the parasympathetic had long preganglionic fiber. Now see the postganglionic fiber. So the sympathetic have long myelinated except the adrenal medulla, and the parasympathetic is long non-myelinated and except the eye. Now let's see the result of the sympathetic. It is diffusion and generalized, but in the parasympathetic, it is localized. Next is the neurotransmitter. The neurotransmitter of the sympathetic is pregang ACH and postgang is NA. And same as the parasympathetic, the preganglionic is ACH and the postganglionic is ACH. So now let's see. Now let's see through the diagram. I'm just sharing my screen to you. Hope you will understand that. So you can see this diagram. In this diagram, you can see the CNS is the central nervous system and PR is the preganglionic and POST is the postganglionic. Here the ACH is acetylcholine and the N is nicotinic receptor and the NA is norepinephrine and EPI is epinephrine. D is donated here is the dopamine. MC is the muscarinic receptor and beta is the beta adeno receptor and alpha is alpha adeno receptor. Here the D1 is dopaminic magic receptor. So you can see this, how the parasympathetic works through different receptor and work on heart vessels and sweat gland vessels and renal. Now you can see this another diagram. You can see this another diagram which is given here of parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system. So So the parasympathetic nervous system and rest and digestion, and the sympathetic nervous system is the fight or flight mode, as I told you. So you can see here. So let's see the definition of symptomatic drugs. drugs that partially or completely mimic the action of norepinephrine or epinephrine is the symptomatic drugs. Now let's see the synthesis. The phenylalanine is hydrolyzed by triosine, then triosine hydrolyzed by dopa, and dopa decarboxylase is dopamine. Dopamine beta hydroxylase is Na, and methyl transferase is adenine. So, where are the adrenergic receptor? Let's see its location. So, the location of alpha 1 is blood vessels, and alpha 2 is CNS, alpha beta 1 is heart, kidney, and glomerular cell, but beta 2 is in lungs and uterus, and beta 3 is the adipose tissue. So now you can see the adrenergic receptors subunit, agonist and antagonist. So you can check that the agonist is given here and the antagonist is given in the given table. Next is the classification. So in the classification, the classification is totally based on the mechanism of action. First is direct acting. First is direct acting. Drugs are, here the example of drugs are epinephrine and non-epinephrine. Next, in the indirect acting agonist like amphetamine and cocaine. Third is the mixed action agonist, ephedrine and pseudoephedrine is there. So you can see here the drug act both direct and indirect is the mixed drug. Now the classification of catecholamine and non-catecholamine. Symptomatic amines have catechol nucleus, while devoid of catechol nucleus is in non-catecholamine. Catecholamines are not effective orally, but non-catecholamines are effective orally. Catecholamines are easily metabolized by monoamine oxidase, whereas the non-catecholamines are relatively resist to the monoamine oxidase enzyme. Catecholamine action quick compared to non-catecholamine, whereas non-catecholamine action prolonged as compared to catecholamine. The catecholamine does not cross the BBB blood-brain barrier, but the non-catecholamine easily cross the BBB blood-brain barrier. There is no significant effect on the CNS of the catecholamine, but the non-catecholamine have the significant effect on the CNS. The example of the catecholamine are epinephrine and non-epinephrine, and they directly act on the receptor. Whereas the example of non-catecholamine are amphetamine and amphetamine, and they indirectly act on the receptor. Now, the directing acting and adrenergic agonist and epinephrine interact with both alpha and beta receptor. At a low dose, beta-2 effect on the vascular system predominant. At high dose, beta-1 effect the vasoconstriction are stronger action. So first is cardiovascular. Strengthen the contractility of the myocardium, positive inotropic effect by B1, beta-1 action, and increase its rate of contraction, positive chlorotropic beta-1 action activates the beta-1 receptor on the kidney to cause renal release, constrict the arteriole in the skin, mucous membrane and viscera, and it dilates the vessels going to the liver and skeletal muscles. Beta-2 effect. Cumulative effect is an increase in the systolic blood pressure and slightly decrease in diastolic pressure. Now, the Dell vasomotor reverse phenomenon. Intravenous injection of adrenaline normally cause increase in blood pressure, like alpha 1 effect, both by the prolonged fall beta 2 effect. If it is administered after giving a alpha blocker, only fall in blood pressure is seen. The phenomena is called Bell's vasomotor reversal. Respiratory, powerful bronchodilation by acting directly on bronchial smooth muscles or beta 2 action. Hyperglycemia, significant hyperglycemic effect because of increased glyconeolysis in the liver, that is beta 2 effect, or increase release in glucagon, that is beta 2 effect, and decrease the release of insulin, which is alpha 2 effect. Lipolysis agonist activity on the beta 3 receptor of adipose tissue. Now the pharmacokinetic, let's see. The pharmacokinetic of epinephrine is rapid onset, brief duration of action due to the rapid degradation. Oral administration is effective cause the epinephrine and the oral catecholamine are inactivated by intestinal enzyme. Only the metabolites are excreted in the urine. Now let's see the therapeutic use. The anaphylactic shock intramuscular is 1 ratio 1000, but in the subcutaneous it is also maintained as 1 ratio 1000. But in intravenous, it is 1 ratio 10,000. So epinephrine is drug of choice for the treatment of type 1 hypertensive reaction hypersensitive reaction in response to allergens. Now, the bronchospasm, epinephrine relieve the bronchospasm. Now, the cardiac arrest, epinephrine may be used to restore the cardiac rhythm in patients with cardiac arrest like Browning and electrocution with the local anesthetics. Local anesthetic solution contain 1 ratio 1 lakh part per epinephrine to greatly increase the duration of the local anesthetic. To control the epistaxis, very weak solution 1 ratio 10,000 used typically to vasoconstrict mucosal membrane to control the oozing of capillary blood. Now let's see the adverse effect. CNS disturbance, the anxiety, fear, tension, headache, and TMA, whereas the hemorrhages is cerebral hemorrhages marked elevation of blood pressure. Cardiac arrhythmia is triggered cardiac arrhythmias, particularly if the patient is receiving digoxin. And pulmonary edema can induce pulmonary edema. Now let's see the contraindication. First is hyperthyroidism. Epinephrine enhances the cardiovascular action in hypothyroidism. So dose of epinephrine must be reduced in this case. Now, the increased production or upregulation of alpha receptor on the vasoculture and beta receptor in the heart of the hyperthyroid individual, leading the hypersensitivity reaction or response. Now, the diabetes is epinephrine increase the release of endogenous stores of glucose in the diabetic dose of insulin may have to be increased. Now, the interaction cocaine plus epinephrine accelerated the cardiovascular action because cocaine prevent the reuptake of the catecholamine into adrenergic neuron. Beta blocker prevent epinephrine effect on beta receptor, leaving a receptor stimulation unopposed, increase in peripheral resistance, and an increase in blood pressure. Inhalation of anesthetic halothione-like agents sensitize the heart to the effect of epinephrine, which may lead to tachycardia. Now, the non-epinephrine and non-adrenaline are the agonists at alpha-1, alpha-2, and beta-1 receptor with similar potency as epinephrine, but it is relatively little effect on the beta-2 receptor. It increases the peripheral resistance alpha-1 and both the diastolic and systolic blood pressure beta-1. So this is all about this. Hope you understand this. For any query, you can also comment below. So just write down the two questions. First is what is the what is Dell's vasomotor reversal phenomena? And write down the classification of catecholamine and non-catecholamine. So this topic is over. Thank you and namaste.